I love it. I would invite everybody in the city of Flint to come to the McCree Theater before the last performance and enjoy the show. It's so energetic.
Come join us at the new McCree Theater.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver. I know you all have been waiting. People have been waiting for this one. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Jerri Winfrey-Carter. She is our special guest this evening.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Look, you know what? I said it's Women's Month. I should have had you sooner, but it's Women's Month. And that gets you to thinking about women in the community that are doing things, women that we need to lift up and celebrate and support, women that are, that got our back down there. I mean, really. And so how could we not have you here?
Well, thank you. I
that
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
You saw that commercial, didn't you? You know a little bit something about that, don't you?
Oh, McCree Theater? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Born and raised McCree Theater.
Well, you know what? I want to talk about you a little bit before, because I know you all want to hear about what's going on at the city. We know that. But like I said, it's Women's Month. And so we need to celebrate each other and lift each other up and support one another. And so I just want to ask you some questions first, because some people only know you in a role as Councilwoman Jerri Winfrey-Carter. And so since we're talking about women and celebrating women, talk about women in your life. Who inspired you? Who got you to get to that next level? Who are those women?
Well, of course, I have to say my mother. My mother was a motivator, okay? And one of the things is that she instilled education. And she always said, baby, you got to have your own.
Right.
You got to have your own. You can't depend on a man.
Depend on yourself.
Yeah, you got to depend on yourself. And she pushed education. She pushed school. So my sister and I, we knew that it was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We had to go to college. Yeah, but my parents made me stay home my first year. Because I was young. I graduated really young. And they made me attend University of Michigan, Flint. And when I tell you, that was the hardest year of my life. Because, of course, my father went to U of M, Flint. He left his footprint.
Yes.
And so I remember going into a class on the first day. I think it was a logic class. And the professor, he started taking the attendance.
And he said your name.
Yeah, he got to my name. He said, Jerri Winfrey. I said, yes. He said, you better shine. He said,
no pressure.
He said, you're Charles Winfrey's daughter, aren't you? And I was like, yes, sir. You better shine. That right there, I'm going to tell you, I melted all the way down to the floor. That was it. That was it for me.
That was it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I begged my parents that next fall, I said, look, if you guys want me to ever graduate and get a degree, you got to let me go away to school. And so I went away to Wiley College. Fortunately, Mr. Rump, He was a recruiter.
I didn't know you went to Wiley. Okay.
Yeah. Wiley. Yeah. HBCU.
That's right.
Now
That's
we're
right.
Wiley University. We have university status.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to Wiley, graduated with my degree in chemistry, and
dang.
Then I went
chemistry.
On. Yeah,
she real smart.
Then I went on to teach. I taught chemistry for some years.
You know what? See, I wish I had known, because my daughter is in nursing school. She's taking chemistry, and I said, your mama can't help you.
Well, if she needs help,
I said, I'm not the one.
Tell her to. That's what I specialize in.
About you, see?
Yeah,
and I mean, I bet a lot of people don't
even
know
if she needs to come over. I work over at the New Life Center. Wow. I'm the director of the adult literacy program. And we offer adult basic education and GED prep, but we have tutors that will tutor you in everything that you need help in.
Yes.
Before you get into it,
like, share, and subscribe.
There you go. I just wanted to tell you a few people that are in here. Sheena B said,
"Hey, Sheena."
AC Dumas is watching. B Marie said, "Hey, everybody."
Hey.
Melissa
Hey,
Zambrinsky said, "Good evening, ladies."
Hey, Melissa.
The Tanya Burns Show say, "Good evening, ladies."
Tanya Burns.
Kawana said, "Hey, ladies and everyone watching." I'm gonna say AC for last. Miss Winfrey is one of my favorite people from B Marie. Patrick G, good evening, ladies. Kawana said HBCU.
That's right.
AC Dumas said, "Y'all gonna lift up Liddell, Candace, and Judy."
Okay, so you know what, AC getting started already. We're gonna go back to the HBCU, because you know what, I was reading this book about Black excellence, and they were talking about the role HBCUs have played,
right?
In you know, in the political realm, people that go into political office in different kinds of career paths, and the role that HBCUs have played. I almost wore my Tougaloo shirt. And then I said, I did. And then and you know what, I put this one on because I was thinking, okay, Women's Month. And I know I can't say her last name, but it's Frida. She's an artist.
That's a beautiful
shirt. And actually I got this from Comma Bookstore.
Okay.
But she had a unibrow. And she wore it proudly because, you know, to defy the stereotypes of beauty. Because they always want to tell us how we're supposed to look, what's pretty, what's not pretty, why you wear that. You know, all of these things that women have to deal with, especially when you're in leadership roles. And so I said, so I'm going to wear Miss Unibrow today.
That's a
because, shirt. You know, and I'll tell you something else they do. Okay, this is what you can wear in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. You can wear what fits you as women. So, you know, because you can wear certain things appropriately.
Right.
So I don't like people to put me in a box because what age woman I am.
Right.
But they do that. But you went to Wiley and you chemistry, and now you're at the literacy center. You know, we were talking about this before we got started, when people see you in a different role, because like I said, some people know you as councilwoman,
right?
And so are they surprised?
Yeah, when they come over to the New Life Center and they happen to you know, wander down to my department and they see me, they're like, "You work here?" Yeah, this is where I spend.
I know I'm at city council in those chambers for hours upon hours, but I do go somewhere else.
Right. This is where I am. This is where I work.
Wow. Okay. Well, that, you know, I wanted to talk about that. So you were doing that. What? And we know we're going to go back to your daddy for a minute, because he was involved in politics. Actually, he's a county commissioner right now. Right. But he was heavily involved in politics because he and Woodrow Stanley worked together. He was his right-hand man.
Yes. And so when I was middle school, probably later elementary school, middle school, Uncle Wood would always come over to the house. Okay. So you know how you trying to hear.
You want to hear.
I knew a lot. Okay. I heard a lot.
Yeah.
And so I paid attention and I would listen in. Okay. And a lot of things that's happening now they talked about. And I always tell people, stay woke.
Right.
You know, because I heard this in middle school of things that was coming up.
And that's what we've talked about is that people will put together a 20-year, a 30-year plan. They will work that plan. When you talk about the good old boys, you talk about back in the day, back out in Beecher, it was the machine, the crapo machine. You know, when you talk about that and hear all that, this stuff is happening now. It's happening. It sure is.
It's happening.
And so, you know, which really makes me move to what we were talking about, because now here you are in political office. How did you get there? I mean, when you were up here ear hustling, listening to them, did you say one day?
Well, no, I did not, but I've always admired people who were you know, officials like Uncle Wood. You know, I've always admired Uncle Wood.
Right.
And you know, I never said that one day, oh, I want to be like Uncle Wood or whatever, but I kind of woke up one day and I was like, you know what? It was during the time that Montez was in office. And I've always, you know, I love youth. And I feel like our youth need to have good role models.
Right.
Okay. And it was during that time where, and Montez, I gotta say this, he started off good. I was proud of Montez. I was really proud of Montez at the beginning. I couldn't vote for him because I had just moved over in that area, so I couldn't vote for him. But he was running against Bernard.
Lawler.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have voted for him because I was gonna vote if I had been registered. I just moved there. Had I been registered, I would have voted for Bernard. But I thought that Montez did an awesome job when he first started. Right. But then, you know, you gotta always stay humble. You gotta be humble. You know. And so I think he started letting the fame and everything get to him, and he kind of got into doing the wrong things, other things, you know, partying and all of that. And I thought that when he broke his well, not parole, but his probation 2 times, not only 1 time, but 2 times, I was like, oh my God, our young people shouldn't see this. They shouldn't think that this is all right. And you just gonna get a little pat, you know, slap on the wrist, and then you'll be all right, and you can just sit up there and be an elected official. That's not, that's not right.
Well, you know, that is exactly where we are when you look at the president. But let's keep going. I mean, we have made these things all right, and it's not. It's
not right. We got to bring this back. We got to bring it back because it's not right.
Well, you got your hands full then.
It's not okay.
Bring him back, but you know what? It's good that you're there. You know, last week I was talking with your counterpart, Tanya Burns, council. It's good to have you all there because people are watching, and it's so funny because you never know who's watching you and who you're impressing,
right?
And they'll say, I do want to do that because they did see you, and you let them know what women can do. And we need women in these kinds of leadership roles, but it's hard to be a woman in a leadership role, and it's hard to be a Black woman in a leadership role.
It is
because you're open to so much scrutiny and criticism, and you know, I just said, and we're out and out disrespected.
We are.
We're just disrespected.
And we're disrespected by other women, particularly our own kind, other Black women.
That's okay. So you're going into AC's question or comment. Because, and that's one of the things that, you know, I like to watch you because sometimes people think, oh, she's nice, she's quiet, and all of a sudden I said, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here she comes. Here she comes.
It's funny. My classroom, my students, when I was in the classroom teaching, my students would know that when I say, okay, now,
right,
you better bring it back. Yeah. You better bring it back. They already know when I say, okay, now, okay, we get ready to go into some stuff. I'm getting ready to get you told.
And you can get people told. And we have, but you know what? But rightfully so, because, you know, when you look at, okay, because some people had more access to what was going on politically. You'd be one of those people because you grew up in it. And so when you know how things were and how things were going, and even, you know, people didn't like each other all the time, but I've never seen such out and out disrespect and uncivility toward one another and toward the residents of the, you know, the people you're supposed to be representing, the people you're supposed to be there for. And so when you see where we came from, I mean, what does that do to you? What do you think and feel?
But you know what? I gotta say this. I've been on that council since November of 2017. Okay, I'm the senior. I'm the senior, and I've worked with 2 administrations, and I gotta say this. It's totally different. It's different. Neely is running this city like it's the mob. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't understand. You're the mayor. You're the mayor. So don't worry about who supported Weaver and who didn't support you. You're the mayor.
You're the mayor. And you're supposed to be the mayor for everybody.
Yes. Not just a select few. Right. You're the mayor for everybody.
I mean, there's a very vindictive spirit.
It is a very, and you know, a pettiness, just petty, and things are not getting done.
And that bothers me.
It bothers me.
And you know, we watch council meetings, and sometimes you are there all night. But just to watch and see some of the things that have taken place. And that's when I said, oh, okay, here she comes. Because in fact, I want to show something. Which one can we start with, Landon?
Wanda said, Councilwoman Winfrey-Carter, be looking over them glasses. Watch out.
Go ahead, Kwana, you're right.
Like my dad wear his glasses. He put the glasses down like this. And if he do that, you better watch out.
Okay.
Dad's ready to say something.
But I have watched some of these meetings, and it's unbelievable. But I have seen you take people to task on those meetings. In fact, let me say this. I was watching the other night, Monday. And I said, ooh-wee. I said, maybe she's going to be the president. Because we were on round number 700 and something. I don't know, 800. And I kept waiting. And I said, well, maybe they'll support Jerri. That's what I said. And then I said, they're not. And then I started thinking, I said, nah, they're not going to support her. I mean, because you call people out.
It's funny, too. Because I remember when the new council came in 21, right? November 21. They came in with this spirit of, I already know what's going on. Now, I'm a lifelong learner. You can always learn.
Say that.
And sometimes you need to sit back and learn the process.
Right. Observe,
listen. Don't step out there. Oh, they came in. Liddell came in. She wanted to be the president. She told Councilman Mays that, oh, you could be my vice president.
And he was the senior.
Right.
He was the senior.
Yeah.
What?
They didn't give it a sit back and learn. that Allie Herkenroder, she came in, man, when I tell you,
I had almost forgotten about her.
She didn't want to sit back and listen and learn.
Well, now she thought she was extremely smart.
Yeah,
actually
she did.
Smarter than everybody else.
That young lady, she's the same age as my daughter.
Right.
Girl, if you don't sit down and
just
be
say,
quiet,
girl, bye. What I do,
there's always room to learn.
Oh, so you got a B. Marie said, for the record, I never supported Eldon, Nickelbag, Sneely, or his minions. Sherry Allen says hello. Let's go up here. Anna Celia said, love me some JWC. God has his hand on it.
Mm-hmm. He better to get you through that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, to get you through that. Sometimes I'm just sitting there watching, saying, "Wow."
And my mother, oh my God,
she that.
Ooh,
that would have to be hard.
Okay, so she'll watch the council meetings. So if I call her the next day, all she want to talk about is what happened at the council meeting. She'll be so upset. And so I have to tell her, and she watches.
Well,
she watches all
when
the
you
meetings.
see,
she probably at home right now.
If
she's not watching it, she's watching the meeting.
Which one? Pull the red lips first.
Oh, she was angry about that.
I don't blame you.
Ooh. My mom said she started to put on her clothes and come down there.
And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So because when I saw this and this I'm gonna be nice. This young lady has just, she's something. She is something else. We're gonna watch this video because I don't know how you did this. And what were you thinking? And how did you keep your composure? That's what I want to know. How did you keep your composure? I have that one. I have something I'm going to read that someone else did. You showing it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want you all, if you didn't see it, you need to see it. But this went viral.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about, the blatant disrespect in the way they will talk with you all. But if somebody from the audience had done this, they'd have been put out of the council meeting. If you had talked like this, if Councilwoman Burns had talked like this, it would have been a problem.
Point of order.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You get real hype. My thing is, everybody up here is an adult. Everyone should be respected. And sometimes, for whatever the reason, along the way in life, people either did not ever learn the lesson of respect as a child, or they seem to have forgotten the lesson of respect that they learned as a child. My council person in the 5th Ward, my colleague, it's not that I don't respond to you because I care about you being loud, because that's about all you are. You're never on point. You never have a point. You can never think of your own point. I don't respond to you because it would be bullying. I do not dare speak to people when I know they cannot compare in a conversation. Stop addressing me. The only reason you're packing up and leaving and saying you shouldn't come, you even asked Councilman Pfeiffer, what do you think? You have to ask him what he thinks because you can't think for yourself. And the one person that thought for you, God rest his soul, is gone. The one person you're sharing a brain with sitting next to you, now she's gone. And now you have to figure out. And now, that's okay. I am the appointed vice president of the Flint City Council, someone who stepped up in leadership because you were not bold enough to take the stance, because you needed somebody else to tell you whether or not you could take the position when you were offered a leadership position. So you are welcome that I constantly show you how to think for yourself. I show you how to be a lady. I show you how to be an adult. I show you how to be a leader. You are welcome. You have people.
Okay, you know what? She lucky your mama didn't come up there. She lucky you didn't lose your cool.
No, I sat there because you know what? Sometimes you got to listen to the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there, I listened to the spirit. And one of the things is you got to let people
Show themselves.
Show themselves.
And she showed.
She showed.
She
I
showed
wanted
herself.
people to hear her. She's crazy.
You heard it.
She's
because
crazy.
that was absolute, and that was.
Yeah.
And you know,
very disrespectful.
Very.
I've known Candace for a while, and I've always thought that she's very disrespectful to her elders. You know,
to her elders, she's disrespectful to the people that come
she
to
is,
City Hall.
and particularly Black women.
Right.
She's very disrespectful.
And you know, I didn't even think about it until I heard her just now when she said something about because you don't compare in conversation. She said the same thing to Councilwoman Burns, and you interrupted my flow. And,
but see, her attitude is not going to get her anywhere. No. And see, that generation, you know, I study a lot about the different generations. That generation, they still don't get it. Don't get it. They have very cocky attitudes.
And you know what? The other thing is, yes.
Say you have Ms. Tanya Burns said she is the epitome.
She said it's the epitome.
Disrespect and Black.
Yeah, she is.
Just nasty. Melissa Zambrinsky said the judge found her in contempt for lying under oath, but nothing ever happened.
That was about Allie.
Red lips. Jasmine M said rude and nasty. Kawana said she cray. And White is 7th Ward and still on council, or 7th Ward woman still on council. And Anna Celia said, I came to Flint after this was aired. I was so hurt to hear this from a council who knows hurt, especially with the father who is accused, who has caused so much pain to others. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right.
And then Sherry Allen said, I'm so glad my niece has the patience of the judge.
And I have to give it to my aunt. I have to give it to my aunt Sherry. She texted me. She said, "You sit there and don't say a word."
So you have women that are giving you some support, and they don't even know it. And she's gonna talk about what she taught you.
Right.
You know that.
Well, I'm gonna teach you something. You need to watch what you say.
Oh, let me find where
you need to watch what you say.
Watch what
Sometimes
you say.
It's better to sit back and listen. Right. You know, God gave
God
gave us 2 eyes and 1 mouth,
right,
and 2 ears.
That's right, for a reason.
For a reason.
And you sat back,
1 mouth,
and you let them see.
Sometimes you don't have to talk. You let them see how crazy she is, and she's crazy.
And you did, and I said, "See, I need to learn that."
I told Tanya the other night. I said, Tanya, let her talk.
Yeah.
Let her talk.
Let people see.
Because people need to hear what she got to say.
You're absolutely right. They do. They need to see. I mean, because
they need to hear how crazy she sounds.
And how disrespectful and demeaning she is.
And she talks so fast, you can't even understand what she's saying.
She's flowing. I think
she thinks she's a rapper. She needs to, maybe she needs to go make her a rap.
She is flowing.
A rap CD or something, because she's flowing.
When she said that, I said, but you know what? If you listen, she says almost the same thing every time, because that's when I said, wait a minute.
And talking in all them word salads and everything. I have to stop with that.
And I just said, wow, look at that. And you stayed just as calm and let them see her for who she was. And sometimes people need to see somebody for who she is. And you know what? And when they show you, believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it. Because you did that.
Oh, 7th Ward ain't seen nothing yet. Ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm in the 7th Ward.
The 7th Ward hate Black ladies.
Does the 7th?
They must.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know, I always look at the results of the election,
and I know how I was treated, and I live in the 7th Ward.
But you won in all of the other precincts. You did.
But that 7th Ward, no.
But I mean, you know, that 7th Ward, it's a little different.
It's a little, it's
a little different,
and
but
our representation shows it.
Right. I do believe though that that Jan Marie did get all of the votes from.
We don't so okay, you're gonna make me go somewhere else because we're gonna come back because I have some more videos to show you, but you made me go to something that I was talking this, I brought this up last week, but I brought it up several times because we don't trust the election process.
And something happened.
We don't trust the election process, and we don't trust it for good reason.
Right.
And so, I go back to the clerk. And I have issues there.
Oh, I have big issues with the clerk.
I have issues there because you're there. I mean, you're there for a reason. And I said this before. I wish it was an elected position because, I guess you got some bullies on the council, and they bully people.
Oh yeah.
But your responsibility is to the people out here.
The people,
not to those particular council people. You don't work for them.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I've been disappointed.
I've been very disappointed, and I told Mays before he passed. Actually, a couple of months into the new term of of council, I told Mays. I said, Mays, I'm very disappointed with Davina. I'm very disappointed. He said, oh, Winfrey, just give her a chance. I said, Mays, I'm telling you, she's not following protocols. She's not following the processes. I'm disappointed. I can't take it.
Because so that goes back to the president then.
Yeah.
Because the clerk is the one that is supposed to run that meeting.
Yeah.
Until a president has been.
Yeah, technically, yeah. She should.
Right. Get that kicked off.
Right. She should. But Davina, I don't know, maybe she's scared for her job or whatever, but you got to take a stand.
Right.
You got to take a stand.
And you know what? And you took one. I couldn't find. Let me pull this article up I had because this was when Eva was there. Eva Worthing. Remember that? Sorry for my choice of words. Flint councilwoman tells colleague after ghetto remark at meeting. Remember when she did that?
Yeah.
And
she's so ghetto.
Right. And it says this was Fox News. It said a councilwoman Tanya Burns heard the comment and repeated it. And so Jerri Winfrey-Carter was leading a 6-hour council committee meeting when Worthing made the comment that Wednesday. Winfrey-Carter attempted to put the meeting back on track. She said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not here to play. That's why you're not the president. I'm here to be fair. I want to hear from all of my colleagues. Everybody is going to have a chance to speak. She condemned all of the ad-libs from Councilwoman Worthing. It's unnecessary. And to have said what she said was unnecessary. She was out of order, point blank. And so you have to deal with that as those kinds of
flashback. I had a flashback. I used to teach 7th and 8th graders. I had a flashback like I was in the 7th grade classroom.
And you were dealing with the 7th
grader?
Grader? I was gonna say because she was the
7th grader. I'm like, what?
She was acting like the 6th graders that she said she taught.
Right.
But I mean, you have really, I mean,
and she calls herself an educator.
Right.
Are you serious?
And you have weathered through that too. You have weathered through that. But I was thinking about
the little prank or whatever they called themselves doing. Eva parked in my parking space one night.
Why?
Just to get me upset. Yeah. She and Liddell.
See,
they thought this up.
There's so much stuff that happens behind that people don't even know that you're dealing with that kind of stuff. Some
I was really upset. I had just flew back into town. Had a chance to get home for a second, drop off my bags, freshen up. I get down to the garage and I see Eva's car in my parking space.
Now these are supposed to be grown folks.
Now she know darn well
where you park.
That's my parking
She
space.
knows because everybody has their spot.
Yeah, it says Fifth
Right.
Ward. Fifth Ward.
Mm-hmm. But she was not.
Now,
How you park
her
there?
parking space was empty.
So she wanted you to park in her spot? Is that what she was
I don't know
telling you?
what she wanted. But then the thing about it, Judy parks next to her. Judy wasn't over the line or anything, so she could have gotten
just
into
did
her
that
car
on purpose.
They did
Yes,
that
more
on
kindness
purpose.
towards Landon.
They did it on purpose. Now, I didn't tell her I was going to slash her tires.
Right. You said, but you didn't tell her that.
Yeah, I didn't say I was going to slash her,
Mhm.
but I said, don't do it again, because you might come back downstairs to some slash tires.
You said you might.
Yeah,
Anything could happen.
it could happen.
You want me to
Go
read
ahead.
some? Okay.
And then I want to show another tape.
So did you slash it? Okay, never mind. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. Let me go up here. Drulina said, good evening, Miss Winfrey-Carter and Dr. Weaver. Much love from
Hey,
NYC.
Drulina.
Sherry Allen said at the last council meeting, I had to leave because of Candace's mom.
Mhm.
I can't understand a word she says. I don't see how y'all can take it. The
I don't
data,
either.
It's hard.
It's
the
hard.
data said, does the 7th Ward woman want a rapper? Disrupt the flow and lost her decorum. Let me see. She aspires to be a U.S. representative, Jasmine Crockett, but will never be.
Okay, stop.
Bleach,
I can't.
blonde, bad built, butch body. Oh, yeah. She cut it off. I did.
She said she aspires to be. Okay, well.
To be Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Skeptical JP says Davina is part of the corruption. The feds would break her purse.
Yeah, definitely.
Arlington Dumas says Neely runs the city clerk's office, 4 members of the city council and the executive branch. Davina Donahue should be scared of being charged for election fraud. Melissa Zambrinsky, I'm sure late Councilman Eric Mays is rolling over because Councilwoman Tanya Burns' lawyers won her case, unlike the ones making money off of him, and never won a case. Last few, Worthing is valuable. I heard Eva is back from Kentucky, from what I heard. Kevin Tay said, hey, ladies.
Hey, Kevin.
I remember that JWC, your response was viral. And last but not least, Arlington Dumas says, as a candidate for the 3rd Ward City Council race, I don't trust Davina Donahue, and let the county state officials know about the happening in the Flint City Clerk's office.
I mean, and that's a bad thing to not trust the election process. I mean, and we haven't trusted it for some time now.
You can't trust anything.
No.
I can't even trust the agenda.
Right.
Okay, because every week we have a deadline. You know when the deadline is. Deadline is on Thursday. Okay? And the deadline should be the Thursday before committee meeting. After that deadline, we shouldn't be getting anything else on that committee agenda.
And you always do.
And we always do.
You always do.
We have a deadline. Follow the deadline.
They're not thinking about that. Well, they're not following. They're doing whatever they want to do. And it's like somebody said, I don't know who it was, but you have a mayor that's running the executive branch. He's mad because now you're at a stalemate, because when you had the 5th vote, he was running the legislative branch. He was running the media.
Oh yeah. And he's trying to get the person he wants in there.
Right. And because that's wrong too. You're talking about the ambassador piece, or are you
no,
for the 3rd Ward?
For the 3rd Ward.
Right.
For the appointee.
Right. For the appointee.
They want Carrie Nelson.
They want Carrie Nelson. That's right. They sure do. They sure do. So he can have that 5th vote. Yeah. And they can keep on voting.
So that he can continue
money
with his rubber stampers.
Right. Not giving the people, when you look at the ARPA dollars, what happened? I mean, there's a list.
And not to vote for St. Mark's to get money for food.
But Liddell, and I was saying this other day, she's gonna post food giveaways in Beecher, but you won't even support one in your ward that does so much, a place that does so much for this community.
When you're in politics,
oh, you got something?
You know this, Dr. Weaver. You always be my mayor. I always want to call you Mayor Weaver. Look, when you're in politics, you gotta have thick skin.
Yes,
you gotta have thick skin.
You gotta have thick skin.
You can't take everything personal.
Nope. But they make everything personal.
Right.
And that's what I don't understand. It's like
they make everything personal and they take everything personal.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That.
You can't do that.
Because at the end of the day, you got to think about the people. It's about the people.
And people don't, a lot of people don't want to come down there.
Yeah.
Because they know how they're going to be treated. They know how they're going to be
it's
talked to.
People.
Women. At first, I thought it was just Black women that Paul got to call bees. But now I see he called Gladys one as well. I said, so women of all ages get to be called out of their names. Black men get to be called, that word we buried.
Paul tried to have some words with me, you know.
And then I think, what I think he does? Because when you're watching, I don't watch on him, because he would mess up the volume so you can hear what's going on. Yeah. And I believe that's intentional. If we want to be looking over here, he shows you over there so you don't see what's going on. I believe that's intentional.
It's intentional.
And that's what he gets paid to do, is not help show us what is going on at our city council. Hey, Landon, do you have the which video? There's a video in there. Let's do the racist guy first, and then
wait a minute.
let's show that one.
Let's pick him. Is that how y'all pick him to come up and talk? Let's pick the racist guy.
Up next.
Councilman Burns and her allies continue because they want control over Flint's budget. Even a child can see Beverly Big Sleazy is precisely the kind of person that Flint can't afford ethically or financially. Tonight, I call upon the council, including the Burns faction, to decisively reject Beverly Big Sleazy, the food stamp fraudstress. It's time to stand up for integrity, respect, and genuine public service.
Thank you.
Flint deserves better.
That's your time. Thank you.
I think we started off good until the biggest clown in Flint once again wants to attack a strong Black woman. I mean, I don't understand how he gets away with these racist things every single time. I don't understand it. He is the biggest racist I've ever met. And he continues to spew hatred in this microphone. It's amazing. And the white privilege that he just spews out by he won't get a warning for speaking out of turn. Believe me, if somebody was up, if Art Woodson was up there, he would probably been thrown out. So it's so blatant and obvious that it's disappointing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
First, I would like to thank all of the residents for being here tonight. Thank you for being engaged in the process. And yes, Mr. Doug Matthews, it's about power and control. It is. And yes, there is a 4-4 or a 3-1-4 vote here to, as far as that third ward appointment. But you know what? I have to agree with my colleague in the 8th Ward. You are the biggest racists that have continued to come up to this podium. And I am so sick and tired of your racist rhetoric. Who in the hell is Big Sleazy? You should be calling yourself Big Sleazy. And I am sorry for the residents who had to come in here and listen to that. But this has gone on too many times where this man has come to this podium and have spewed racial undertones. They're not even undertones. He's blatant with it. You need to be calling yourself Big Slim.
That's why you're not president.
Right.
Because that, what I thought about, right? Who is Big Sleazy?
Why you?
And
He comes there, and I'm telling you, he wrote a whole story about Tanya. Called her snake bite. It was a whole story. And if you read the story, oh my God, it has so many, in my opinion, so many racial undertones, microaggressions.
Who was that president?
Don't
That
that
was, oh, so that's the same one that called the black man the N-word too.
Yeah.
The same one.
Yes.
And so when we have gotten to a council that allows these things, that doesn't give him a warning.
He's the same man that Candace went to the Ethics and Accountability Board to stand up
for him.
Are you serious? You're standing up for this man.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
But she needed those votes over there in that 7th ward.
So she
needed the white votes.
Her own people.
Yes, she needed the white votes. That's what got her over.
Well, they ought to be embarrassed. They ought to be embarrassed they put her in there. What were you gonna?
I'm just highlighting some of these. B. Marie, well, I just know I heard punk a word. Paul learned his boundaries with a certain individual. I'm just saying.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah,
that's absolutely right.
B. Marie, see if you can send us a copy of that video over. Mark Hutchinson say, yeah. See, this guy always talking about sisters. I think he's jealous. Sisters have what he wants and will never have. Sherry Allen said, Liddell, Judy, and Candace and Leon are put on council to be a distraction for what's really happening.
Yeah.
Miss Tanya Burns said the clown has went after Carol, Billy, Jan Marie, Beverly, and myself. Tasha Lynn, my two favorite men on council, Dennis and Jonathan Jarrett. Francis Gilchrist said they will be calling the Black Council people Aunt Jenna, Han Sambo, as long as Julie and Liddell in there. Melissa Zambrinsky said, good evening, everyone. I have to get up early. I'm going to catch y'all in the morning.
Okay, Melissa. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Melissa.
Right.
But yeah, a few more. The Bata 100 said, 7th Ward white male is a racist and hates black women. Is it true Doug Matthews is? And she put up a stop sign. Doug disappeared for a minute, but I knew he would be back with his demonic spirit.
He started coming back. It was nice and refreshing not to see him.
Yeah.
At the meetings.
But you know who invites him to come?
Probably those two council people. Yeah. Candace and Liddell.
Yeah.
Because they like that kind of stuff.
He came particularly to speak about Miss Beverly.
But that's what I don't get, that they allow. I mean, there's so many double standards up in there.
Oh yes.
Because if you said something wrong, they want to give you a warning. But they get to say whatever. They get to say whatever, do whatever. And it depends on who the resident is. If it's someone like we just witnessed.
And then they'll censure you for what? Behaviors unbecoming of a council member.
Well,
I got censured.
So have you cussed out?
Yes.
Have you cussed out a pastor a couple times?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering.
But I did tell Pastor Thompson, I said, Pastor Thompson, you stay in the spirit. I'll get in the flesh. Whatever you need.
That's why she's not the president.
Because I'll get them told for you. I'll get them told.
Spirit.
You stay in the spirit. I'll get in the flesh for you. Because I'll get them told.
See, and that's what I'm saying. See, they don't know.
And that's why.
Push you. And
it's best for me to sit quietly sometimes Because I'm telling you,
your daddy said because her mama will come out.
mm-hmm.
And I
no, but it's better to have my mother and my father in me.
Uh-huh.
I got both.
You got a little both, because then you do that, and that's when they know too.
Oh yeah, I got both. Mm-hmm. Now you know,
what'd you say? I got the right mix of each one.
Listen, Daddy is a laid back, calm, cool, collective guy, but
once he gets to that line,
boy,
and that's what I see in you, because you lay back, and then all of a sudden you say, "Wait a minute, let me say this," like we just saw. Or what I just read when Eva was making those kinds of comments. Like I said, when at that press conference, one of the things I said, and this was you, Councilman Jarrett and Councilwoman Burns. You all had that press conference, and Liddell started hitting the hammer because they called a meeting, gave you all 15 minutes, and you went up there and you said, she's not even supposed to be, she ain't the president. Do you remember that? I said, I said, and I said it again, here she comes. And I sat back and watched, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. And I don't know, I mean, how you
it's
all.
It's so much going on. It's so much.
And there's so much work to be done. And there's so much, I want, what? You got to.
No, hey, look.
So, you can't put every comment up. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. But see, Kevin, he been going in, but he caught me off guard with one of them. So it just,
you don't share that one.
Yeah, I'll show y'all afterwards.
Oh, okay. See, Kevin, I can't wait to hear what
got one in on me.
What you had to say there now.
It looked like you laugh out loud. You got one in on me.
But it's hard to, because it's hard to watch.
It is.
It's hard to watch, and it makes you angry when you watch, and to see that these are the people. It's obvious that they're not there to be of public service.
No.
And so that's bad when you have people that are all in it for the wrong reason. They want to vote for themselves to get money. They want to vote for each, yeah, you get this, you get this, you get that. They don't vote for the people. They don't support the people. That's one of the things you always do, is you always thank the people for coming, because you want the community engaged. You should want them to come.
That chamber, the council chamber, is for the people. We should not be putting residents out of the chamber.
Yeah,
we shouldn't.
You can't hold up a sign.
Yeah, you can't clap.
You can't clap.
Yeah,
you
she
can't
put a lady out for clapping. Yeah.
Now, where does that happen? Besides Flint City Council, that you can't clap.
And she calls herself a leader.
Only in her own eyes. Only in her own
eyes. A leader.
Right. But that's not what leaders do.
No.
That is not what leaders do. And so, you need to know that you are appreciated, that we are glad to have you in that seat. Because, you know what? I laugh at Tanya because she would ask me why I would call her. I said, well, my husband's business is in the 6th ward, so we are one. I said, because I really don't feel like I have representation. There are some things going on in the ward that I know I can't call up my 7th ward council person, because she started talking to me crazy. We're gonna have a problem.
Well,
and she worked for me.
Yeah, how did that go?
Somebody asked in the thing. They said, "How did she get fired?" Then it said ... twice. I didn't.
How did she get fired?
Yeah, it said, how did she get fired from working with Dr. Weaver?
No, I didn't. After the election. That's what happened. I wasn't, they cheated. We don't trust the process.
Right.
But anyway.
So is that?
So no, she was not fired from me. She wasn't fired.
She was fired from Neely.
Neely.
Yeah, that was who fired her.
So after yours, she just was.
And she went back to him after she told me what a terrible person he was,
right,
and all of the things he had done, and how awful he was. And now she's back with him, right, and as awful as ever, as awful as ever. So that's really interesting to me. because you cried about this person and just talked about how, how he did you. And now you all are like this and working together to not help the people. So I don't get it.
Somebody said, "Come on, Mayor, spell it."
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me that it was not me.
Because she was in your administration,
right.
So
she was my second comms person.
Yeah.
So that's what she did when she worked with me. So I
was she there the whole time?
No,
or?
She wasn't. I had somebody else initially.
Oh, okay.
I had someone else initially, and it was a hard place to be because we were under such a spotlight that politics is difficult enough to be elected, but it was such a spotlight on Flint that I think it was hard for people to work there because everybody was watching. We really had a hard time getting people to work in the water department.
Yeah,
because there was so much oversight going on that people were just nervous about being there.
Right.
Because you couldn't do your job without all, and then there was that national spotlight. So she was my second person is how she got there. Because you know what, let me tell you, I listened to her on the radio with Neely. I said, if she can toot his horn and he don't have a horn to toot, then, and I needed somebody to, I said, you can say all them good things about him. I can give you something good to talk about because we're doing some good stuff. And so anyway, and actually I didn't hire her for my communication person. She was actually working in the health part with Pam Pugh. And when I lost my person, because she'd had that experience, she came over and filled in and stayed there in that position is what happened. So that was how she came to work in my administration. So,
but did you detect the attitude?
I didn't have any problems initially.
Oh, okay.
I said
initially.
Okay, I was gonna say, now you heard me say initially. Right. Yeah. But then I did start later on picking up, there's some problems with Black women. There were some problems with Black women, and there was a very heavy sense of paranoia going on. But then all that other stuff was going on too with her dad. There was a lot of stuff going on then.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's what happened. Yeah. Oh, you want to do comments first or the next? He wants to laugh.
Yeah, because they said they couldn't hear me, so I had to put my mic on this. Once the fourth gets the fifth vote, get those books opened up. Enough residents show up consistently. The fraudulent 4 council members will have no choice but to acquiesce. Yeah, she used a big word. She almost got me. Kevin Tate said Neely gonna try to put a case on me again.
That wouldn't be a surprise, Kevin, because that's what he does. Those are the kinds of things he does. On purpose, he will try to destroy you.
And like he said, y'all should read my comments on here. It's me, not y'all.
Okay.
No,
I'm gonna read them when I'm done.
If I gotta send a letter to somebody afterwards, I can't put you. Yeah, that's here. Let's see. There was one. Oh, okay. Kevin said, did Neely keep paying that woman to teach his wife to read? He said, or she still can't read the Cat in the Hat book.
You do literacy. You could do that.
Oh, Lord.
I just read to some third graders yesterday. It's reading month.
Somebody said, I think Liddell is jealous of Tanya Burns. Just my opinion. Philip Johnson said, I've seen it happen too many times, too many places. Miss J, Candace is crazy for real. And last but not least, Philip Johnson said, as council's goals, my primary concern is security in place to prevent anyone from attacking or intimidating anyone, regardless of its council or residents.
So let's go to when there were guns and, when that.
The little insurrection?
Right.
Okay. I saw it coming. So Liddell came in late that day.
Uh-huh.
She walked in, and moments after Liddell walked in, Quincy's sister walked in.
Mm-hmm.
And I whispered to Tanya, I said, I said, it's going to be some stuff going on up in here tonight, Tanya. I said, it's going to get kind of rough. Because after the sister walked in, then I started seeing his little nieces and cousins walk in. Now,
you knew.
I knew.
So that happens. And the acting president, because she really should not be the president.
She sat there.
Right.
She sat there. She didn't say a word. It was weird.
She just sat there.
It was staged. Everything was staged. Yeah, she sat there, didn't say a word. She didn't bring anybody to order or anything.
No, I mean nothing.
Nothing.
And,
she just let it pop off.
Right.
She just let it pop off.
So for someone
said that we're still getting threatening calls now, still haven't heard from a detective.
See, that's what I was going to say. So with something like that happens, how do you feel? So she just said you're still getting calls.
I got a call from the same person that called Tanya. It's an Alabama number. And I believe it's Liddell. It's Liddell playing like a kid.
Well,
she has the maturity level of a 3-year-old. She playing like a kid. Nearly the maturity level of a 3-year-old. I said a 12-year-old a couple of weeks ago, but no, it's a 3-year-old.
She said, I'm going to drop that down.
Yeah, 3-year-old. Candace is right there with them. And they play all these little childish games.
They do. They do. And so,
it's
how do you feel?
It's to distract from what we really need to be focusing in on.
Well, you don't get to focus it, right?
Yeah,
you don't get to, because there are all these other little things going on.
So, but there's so much corruption going on in this city,
and that's why you got to be scared.
And we can't even focus.
You know what? I remember when they were making some changes to the charter, and we said we need to let the people know. But I was fighting recalls all the time.
Yeah.
So they put all of these things up there, so you can't let people know. Here's the deal. Here's what's happening. You can't go over and take care of this because they put all these little fires
because when
around.
you're getting these calls, people calling you with all this nonsense and all this stuff, it's a distraction.
So do you feel safe?
That night I was scared.
Okay.
I was scared.
Okay.
I've never felt unsafe in that council chamber, but that particular night, I was scared. And I'm still kind of, I still watch where I go.
Right.
And I might kind of sit in the parking lot to see, okay. I'm very, very.
Because people know who you are, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like you can just walk in there and they say, I don't know who that is. They know who you are. And so that puts you at a higher level,
right?
For something to happen. And so but let's play this other, this is the Hasselbring one.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Also, Mr. Rich Jones, I want to piggyback off of what Councilwoman Burns have shared with Hasselbring. I find it very coincidental that the administration now wants to name Hasselbring, rename it, and include Councilman Eric Mays' name in that. The reality of it is this. Mayor Neely doesn't like Mays. He didn't like Councilman Mays. And guess what? Councilman Mays couldn't stand him. Okay? But see, this is a tactic to get the residents to buy in to what's going on at Hasselbring, to buy into all of the shadiness. See, he's playing on their emotions. And I'm telling you, it's just not right. That whole situation is a mess. So I just want the residents to be aware of what's going on. This is one of those ploys, another ploy that he uses to get buy-in. Thank you.
And that's again why you're not president.
Mm-hmm.
Because because you call things out.
I'm gonna call it out. And that's what it is.
And that's but you're the kind of people we need in those places. We need people that are not scared to call out and tell the people the truth. Because when I heard that, I said the same thing you said. He didn't even like Eric.
Right.
Couldn't stand him.
Eric couldn't stand him.
Right. And now you want to do this.
I saw the video where Eric called him the man in the green shirt and
but
with the crosses on it.
Right, with the crosses.
Yeah.
But he was, like you said, you're trying to go to the sympathy, and nobody was saying Eric shouldn't have something.
Well,
that wasn't it, but they were using it to fool people.
Have you ever gone to a funeral, particularly over at Moon's, and they read this proclamation sent from Neely, the city of Flint. I was at my girlfriend's mother's funeral. Now, they live out in Beecher.
Because he closed the funeral homes. That used to be Candace's job when she worked with him.
And they sent a proclamation for all of the funerals.
Look, I'm telling you.
All of the funerals. Now, is that...
That's using.
Well, that's playing on people's emotions.
Right.
Yeah. It's playing on people's emotions.
And that's what he was
doing so that they'll vote for him.
Oh, the mayor.
He's always in campaign mode.
Always. And well, I hope he's failing at it.
Yeah.
Because
every funeral you're gonna get a proclamation from the city of Flint, the mayor.
Let me see. I wonder if I'm gonna get a birthday card. What? Look, because he'll send it to everybody in my house but me.
Oh, for real?
So maybe I'll get a birthday card this time. March 15th.
Does he put anything in it, or is it just
no?
Oh.
I use a letter opener to open that stuff. I don't even want to touch where his lips have been.
Yeah. He does that. He's a what you call it, a master manipulator.
Yeah.
He manipulates
and does a disservice to the people.
Yeah.
He does. It's a disservice to the people. And so again, that's why I said, we need to recognize, the people, but
and I tell the people, stay woke.
Right, stay woke. And that's why, but that is why I said we need to, lift you all and celebrate you, because it's Women's Month. And we need to do this all of the time, as far as because it's hard out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's hard to be a woman in leadership, a Black woman in leadership, standing up and speaking up and not tolerating certain things and having to deal with what you have to deal with. Like I said, it's the blatant disregard, disrespect. People can say anything about you with no accountability to what they put out there on you. You have to sit through those kinds of meetings. You have to be called ghetto and all kinds of things. And then you still answer your constituent calls. Exactly.
And you work hard for
them. Do that. Well, you do.
Yeah.
But everybody
for
doesn't.
The ethics and accountability board to want to put our pay in escrow.
Right. When I heard that, I said, that is a volunteer.
They didn't have the power to do that. They didn't have to deal with all that.
And while they're little things, they add. It's stressful.
But I'm gonna tell you, Neely is running that board too.
Exactly.
He got his hands in
everything.
Everything that's going on in this city. Believe me, you. My grandmama used to say, "Believe me, you." He has his hands in it.
Yeah.
All of the mess.
All of the mess.
all of the mess.
And so you know what? But it's gonna be election time pretty soon.
Oh,
it
yeah.
really is. And it's gonna be a chance to have some new electeds. And I'm
but see what he's thinking is that the residents will forget.
Well, we're gonna have to remind them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to remind them and keep talking
we're gonna
about
have to
this.
remind them of what hasn't happened for the people. What hasn't happened.
When he did what he did to the seniors,
now
that right there was political suicide.
That was terrible.
Political suicide.
I think he's scared. I think
he should be.
He should be.
He should be.
He should be. I mean, we could Hasselbrand.
Now
that made no sense.
You've divided a city. He's very
dividing seniors.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's very divisive.
Right.
He's divided the council. Yep. Okay, now he's dividing the seniors. Mm-hmm. He's very divisive. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nothing is getting done in this city.
Nope.
I don't even see work trucks out working on a daily basis.
So what do we do? What do we do? I mean, because you want people to come to council.
Yeah.
And
but people need to come down to council.
I used to say that all the time.
Speak out.
They need to come down
you
to council.
You need to speak out.
And I think people are seeing what's going on. I hope it's enough. I hope it's enough. I hope people will get engaged. I hope they will participate in council going on in the election process. You got something?
Between Kevin and skeptical, Sherry Allen said Flint is Neely's empire.
Mm-hmm.
Skeptical JP said Sheldon Neely is a handkerchief head Negro. Kevin Tate.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, I said that was God. Neely trying to use these groups to vote for him. Skeptical JP, I know Neely has no love for the guy or his residents. He's probably going to put the city. B. Marie said, not me. I made sure I voted no. I know Michael Clack was in here. He said, hey, everyone. Sorry.
Hey, Mike.
Kathleen King said, I always tear up the Christmas cards from him as well.
You get Christmas cards? You get Christmas cards? Oh, me. Oh, me. That is too much.
Well, I just
using our taxpayers' dollars.
Well,
to campaign
with his name on those garbage bins.
I know it.
No, you know I didn't vote for that mess.
But and I said that's just where it belongs, on the trash can. I did. I said, let me take this out. I said, I thought it was so appropriate that his name was on trash.
On a trash can.
I mean, and it's so wrong. It is because it shouldn't be there. But I thought, wow, this is so appropriate because that is where his name belongs.
Using taxpayers'
to
money
advertise his name.
To advertise his name.
Exactly.
To campaign.
To campaign. And that is what you are not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that. It just tickles me that you would want your name on trash. I just don't understand. Somebody told me, I hit the mayor. I said, you hit the mayor? I wonder who that was. Oh, yeah, I backed up and hit the trash can. So I said, okay. But there are so many inappropriate things going on. Right. And he's got his dirty little hands and all of these kinds of things and really doing a disservice to us. And so before we stop, tell us something about you that we just don't know. I didn't know you were a chemistry major, but what is it? Something about you we don't know. What would surprise people if they knew?
I don't know. I'm an open book. So, I mean, whatever people want to know about me, they can find out.
So who's your, let me see. What's your favorite movie?
Love Jones.
Okay. See, I bet you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang, We watch that over.
I cry
and
every
over
time I watch that movie.
And over.
I do.
I had forgotten
Every
about that.
time I watch that movie.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, I love Mexican food. I love it.
Now, you know what? And I'm going to tell you something.
I can eat tacos every day. I can.
So if you all, you know she be at those meetings for hours upon hours, bring her some tacos.
I can eat tacos every day.
Bring her some tacos. Because you're there a long time. A long time.
Miss Stephanie Rogers said she likes to dance.
That's what I was gonna say. This is what Stephanie, you got it. I would have, but she would come in.
If you put that music
and
on,
she comes in busting a move, and I'm like, here she comes. And
I walk in dancing.
She walks in dancing, and I love to. I do. It just, I don't know. It's something that just lifts you. Like she's here, and you make a grand entrance. You make.
I love it. Don't let that music be.
I think she might be in a play sometime. Have you ever been in a play?
When I was younger. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was in. I've been in a couple of plays.
See, I didn't know that. See, I bet some people didn't know that either. Landon, he likes to be in. You like to be in plays or write?
Yeah, really? Yeah.
He likes to do that as well.
Yeah, wow. I would have to go all the way back to middle school. But I did perform in Christmas at the Crossroads.
Okay.
Couple of years. I performed in that play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything you want to say to the listening to the viewers before we go?
I just want the residents here in the city of Flint. I want you guys to really just stay woke. Try to understand what's going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of corruption going on in our city. I don't understand why the FBI is not.
I don't either.
Here.
I said
I just don't understand.
Right.
What's going on?
What is going on with that? What's up with that? Because they should be. There's a lot going on.
It is. And you know, your vote is your voice.
But you know what? I think that's why people feel hopeless sometimes, because we see it right in our face, and you see it just looks and feels like people are getting away with things.
Stop putting the wrong people in office. You gotta stop putting the wrong people in office.
That's right.
Anybody but Neely 2026.
Right. Right.
Miss Rogers. Once again, this is a repetitive question we had. But they really want to know, are you thinking about running again? Have you changed your mind, man?
You know what? I'm gonna say what I said before. We have an opportunity to get somebody that is not in our best interest out of office.
Right.
I hope and I pray that we have good people that are running. I hope and I pray that you all stay there and get some new people to help you. That's what okay. Well, okay. She looked at me like, maybe you should have asked her that question, because you had a look like I don't even. You know what?
Mayor Neal,
put in there, Miss Jerri. Said JWC, are you going to?
That's what I'm.
2026 election.
Mayor Dr. Weaver. Look, I'm gonna tell you, these last 3 years has been hard, really hard. And people don't understand, it depends on who's in office, the mayor.
Right.
Okay?
Because he has set a tone for this city.
Yeah.
That is a terrible tone.
Yes, it's a terrible tone.
It's terrible. And you're supposed to be a leader. And this is what you are showing. And it has gotten to be acceptable. It's like we're a reality TV show. It's what we have turned into. What?
He said Dr. Weaver looked like she's about to cuss.
Things are so different.
Yeah. I mean, because it is. It's more than a notion. It's more than a notion.
This has really been hard
to deal with, and it takes
I
a
had
toll
to stop my doctoral studies because I couldn't
do both.
Do all of this. I had to put
that on hold.
What I'm trying to achieve on hold to be able to deal with everything that's going on this council.
I believe that. But
it's all perpetuated,
and that's why it's important
from the top,
right.
From the little man downstairs,
right? Downstairs, yeah, he is downstairs. I thought you meant like in a dungeon somewhere.
Yeah, he
downstairs.
He is the troll in the dungeon downstairs.
But that's why I think it's important to let you know that people appreciate whatever you do. People appreciate you being there. People appreciate the treatment that they get from you.
I couldn't even. I mean, in fact, I got put on academic probation
because of this.
Trying to keep up with it all. And because you got to be so watchful.
Right.
You don't know where he's hiding money. Or what lie gonna come up.
Or you found $20 million that I had already said.
I called
I called him and told him. I said, Eric, I need you to know that there's 20.
$20 million.
And I said,
he came in line. He came in. Remember, he said that the administrative offices were all bugged,
and it was a flash drive for the state of the city.
He came in lying. Well, he just lied. He lied during his whole campaign. Just lied.
And so you can't trust.
You can't trust them. So imagine being a council person and you just gotta dig through everything.
And yeah, you do. And you have to be willing to do that.
So it's been really hard.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I tell people I'm not a smoking woman and I'm not a drinking woman. But I'm gonna tell you what, after them council meetings, you gonna have you a blunt and a strong drink.
Yeah.
Just because you can't I'm thinking, did this really happen?
And we're sitting there watching saying, did this really happen?
Did this really happen?
Are we back?
Yeah, you've been.
Oh, we're back. And but yeah, to tell that kind of untruth, just an out and out lie.
Right.
And you have to come in and try to figure out what's real and what's not real. Because really, I mean, you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. And so I just want to again say thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. I mean, because you're just so open and honest, and you let the people know, what's on your mind, what's in your heart, and people know that you are there for them, and people trust you. And in a city where we don't trust folk here now. And so for people trust you. And I'm gonna say it again, that's why you're not president, because of those small things that we were just showing where it's like, no, here's what's going on for real. And and you speak that, and you speak the truth.
But see, he has his people, I call them his rubber stampers.
Right.
And this is what they did to Mays. They wanted to hush him up.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to shut him down. Because Mays was telling people what was going on.
That's why we're gonna put you out. We're gonna put you out for 90 days. We don't care.
Then they
got rid of Tanya.
Right.
And now they don't care that the third ward has not had a voice, and I don't know how long. I mean, certain areas they don't care about.
Well, they want to put who they want.
Right. And they will let the third ward go unrepresented if they can't get it, because they're working hard to get what they want, because they want those 5 votes.
Working hard.
And so you all pay attention. Pay attention.
Then they done put this LaShawn Johnson in the race.
And so I think that's well. First, I don't think there should be ambassadors, because that wasn't
that was against against the charter.
Right. That and and that acting president should have been outraged, because you don't get to say what we're doing.
Right. But she doesn't.
But they're all in it together.
Yeah, she doesn't.
So they're all in it together. So you don't tell.
She should not let him rule the legislative.
Exactly. He needs to go back to
he needs
the
to stay in his
downstairs and do what you're supposed to do. And
everybody needs to stay in their lane.
And so for that to happen, and then that's an unfair advantage, because you put her in this. It'd be different if she's running. So you all pay attention. Pay attention. Do your homework, and you have a chance to get some new people. And see who has your back, who has your voice, who's going to represent you in a way that you want to be and deserve to be represented.
Right.
And so I'm going to thank you for coming on.
Well,
I want you to come back, though.
I will.
I want you to come back, because we need to have these kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I will definitely come back.
And happy Women's Month. Thank you for being one of the women we want to
see you
there.
Dr. Winfrey.
So, and thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. No, let me say this. We have Clutching Our Pearls tomorrow, don't we?
Clutching Our Pearls, we got Pamela Pugh.
And that's at 7, and then we're going to finish that education conversation we were having. I had Pam Pugh for this, as the president of the State Board of Education, but we're going to have the state superintendent on.
Okay.
Because they're tearing up.
They're tearing
it up. So tune in for those. That's at 5:30, and then Clutching Our Pearls is at 7. So we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye.